LETTER XXXI OF Clarissa Harlowe, or the History of a Young Lady, Vol. 9. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit Librivox.org. Recording by Nicole Lee. Clarissa Harlowe, or the History of a Young Lady, Vol. 9, by Samuel Richardson. Letter 31. Mr. Belford to William Morden, Esq. Saturday, September 16th. Dear Sir, I once had thoughts to go down privately, in order disguised, to see the last solemnity performed. But there was no need to give myself this melancholy trouble, since your last letter so naturally describes all that passed, that I have every scene before my eyes. You crowd me, Sir, methinks, into the silent slow procession. Now with the sacred bier do I enter the awful porch. Now measure I, with solemn paces, the venerable aisle. Now, ambitious of a relationship to her, placed in a pew near to the eye-attracting coffin, do I listen to the moving eulogy. Now, through the buzz of gaping, eye-swollen crowds, do I descend into the clammy vault, as a true executor, to see that part of her will performed with my own eyes. There, with a soul filled with musing, do I number the surrounding monuments of mortality, and contemplate the present stillness of so many once busy vanities, crowded all into one poor vaulted nook, as if the living grudged room for the corpse of those for which, when animated, the earth, the air, and the waters could hardly find room. Then seeing her placed at the feet of him whose earthly delight she was, and who, as I find, ascribes to the pleasure she gave him the prolongation of his own life, sighing, and with averted face, I quit the solemn mansion, the symbolic coffin, and for ever the glory of her sex, and ascend with those who, in a few years, after a very short blaze of life, will fill up other spaces of the same vault, which now, while they mourn only for her whom they jointly persecuted, they press with their feet. Nor do your affecting descriptions permit me here to stop, but ascended, I mingle my tears and my praises with those of the numerous spectators. I accompany the afflicted mourners back to their uncomfortable mansion, and make one in the general concert of unavailing woe. Till retiring, as I imagine, as they retire, like them, in reality, I give up to new scenes of solitary and sleepless grief, reflecting upon the perfections I have seen the end of, and having no relief but from an indignation, which makes me approve of the resentments of others against the unhappy man, and those equally unhappy relations of hers, to whom the irreparable loss is owing. Forgive me, Sir, these reflections, and permit me with this to send you what you declined receiving till the funeral was over. He gives him then an account of the money and effects, which he sends him down by this opportunity, for the legatees at Harlowe place, and in its neighbourhood, which he desires him to dispose of according to the will. He also sends him an account of other steps he has taken in pursuance of the will, and desires to know if Mr. Harlowe expects the discharge of the funeral expenses from the effects in his hands, and the reimbursement of the sums advanced to the testatrix since her grandfather's death. These expeditious proceedings, says he, will convince Mr. James Harlowe that I am resolved to see the will completely executed, and yet by my manner of doing it; that I desire not to give unnecessary mortification to the family, since every thing that relates to them shall pass through your hands. End of Letter XXXI.